point of origin turned out to be actually quite a sad story. Yeah, I always knew that it's going to be really personal because it's a personal story or journey throughout my life, and it's based on the one question that I wanted to find the answer for that. I started photography and filmmaking 2 years ago, and I kind of had this sort of a inspiration when I was visiting Croatia or having a holiday there, making TikTok and YouTube content. But you know, I was kind of really, it wasn't something that I was satisfied about, doing this entertaining content for YouTube and TikTok. It was too ADHD for me. I wanted to do something more which is giving me more satisfaction and I enjoy, because I did that for too long. So in Croatia I was doing this stuff, this really unnecessary stuff, and I decided to make a decision to turn out a new page on my life. Look out this. Ooh, what a beautiful.
Sometimes there are stories where you don't want to know the end, but in the end, those are the stories that stay with you. I had to find mine.
Point of origin starts way back when I started building esports business in Finland. It's more than 10 years ago. Or around 10 years ago, I think. I was around 15 years old, 15, 16, when I started, or even younger. I'm not sure anymore. But in 2008, so it's quite a long time, actually. I started building esports organization in Finland with a couple of people who are still my friends, but we started to build an esports organization in Finland and bring this esports ecosystem and business into Finnish community. There was tournaments and gaming stuff happening here, but nothing really that professional that we aimed to. And in 2008, I was still a gamer by myself. I was competing in different games, but like in a year or two, I decided to start more kind of this management and building stuff with the Tony and the Jonas and the other persons, Janka and all those my friends. We wanted to bring in Finland that something that, you know, these organizations are doing in Sweden and in Britain and all around the world. We wanted to do a first Finnish globally successful organization with the international brands as our sponsors and get the really bring the esports into Finland. And I think myself, I am one of the main characters, even never really recognized, but I was one of the main characters who was building this whole business in Finland. It was an interesting time period in my life, more than 10 years. I was doing a full-time job, esports organization, and at some point I was kind of a brand ambassador for 3 different brands. So I had 2 full-time jobs and 3 part-time jobs. And it already sounds crazy, but yeah, I was young and ambitious. My life was driven by a constant seek of success and adrenaline and all that. Yeah, I think, you know, at some point I felt I'm satisfied all that and I'm happy to do that. But, you know, I did esports and brought that all social media, live streaming stuff into Finland, help a lot of gamers and content creators build their success stories and help them into the global success. Some of them are still actually pretty great players, and there is a interview where Alexi B actually mentioned us, and it's incredible that some people still know that we have a some sort of a role on this. But yeah, doing that and bringing esports really around everywhere. I was the guy who was going around the media, you know, the ordinary media, the television and the radio and all, you know, whatever you call media. And I brought the esports into the music festivals and different events where you really did not expect at time that the esports might be there, but it was a great, cool thing that everybody wanted to be involved. Kind of a trendy thing. It became a trendy thing. Everybody wanted to be part of that, and we were at some point the biggest what is the word? Biggest organization, or you know, the brand to do that in Finland. But in 2017, doing that for quite a long time, and I was thinking that, okay, I have been doing this already like 10 years. I've given everything, you know, from myself for esports, social media, live streaming, and I felt maybe that I was drained. Really, I had any, you know, there wasn't anything left. I felt that I could give for it.
Wake up, ride, win, repeat. A relentless loop fueled by adrenaline, chasing a finish line that kept moving. I was fighting a war against my own happiness. I knew the machine had to stop. I needed something real. So I picked up the camera. I needed to make a difference.
2 years ago in Croatia, I was in holiday, but at the same time I was doing this entertaining TikTok and YouTube stuff, and I was actually quite successful in YouTube. I got like 600,000 views with this ADHD content, but again, I wasn't satisfied about that because I felt this is not me, and this is not what I really want to do. And in Croatia, in Makarska actually, I was doing these entertaining videos, these entertaining TikTok and YouTube videos, and at some point I was sitting on the hill or mountain even. I had a camera, even though I haven't really used camera in a professional way ever, but I have always had a camera in, you know, as different device. Even it could be a mobile phone or a vlog camera, but I had this Sony vlog camera with me. I was sitting there and I got this thought in my head that there is something in filmmaking and photography that has always somehow felt fascinating in my mind. And you know, with the vlog camera, you can do a lot, but not that much. And I was like, you know, maybe this is something I can do as a profession, because I saw already all these TikTok stuff and this kind of too energetic ADHD stuff that, you know, brands are destroying their brands with this stuff because they want to be on trends to get to this kind of a right or new audience for themselves, but they're actually at the same time destroying themselves. And I did not want to be part of that. I have always respected the brand aware content and marketing, and I have been doing marketing in esports and social media and live streaming business for years. And I felt that it's wrong that these companies now that have a long history, people have a certain image about these brands in their minds, and they are jumping into these stupid TikTok dancing videos and all that. And I felt in Croatia that I had to stop doing this by myself, and because I don't want to do this. This is nothing me. I have always appreciated this really nice, high quality, brand aware content and marketing. But also I have, you know, I felt that I have been always telling stories. I have always been good in storytelling and building stories. I have been always fascinated about great stories and visual storytelling. So I tried sitting there with this camera to take a few photos and few clips, like in a professional way. Well, I got back from the Croatia. I did all that videos, entertaining videos that I filmed there. And then I was one day like wondering, how about those photos and videos that I shooted in a professional way? And I was actually really surprised how great they ended up being, even though I haven't really done that before. Yes, I have had a camera in my life. My first camera was like Nikon D40 that I still have. But I was like, okay, well, I have always created something new. And I was so fascinated about, you know, the photos and the videos that I did. And I was thinking, well, I have learned a lot of things in my life, and I've been always kind of a fast learner. Why wouldn't I try photography, filmmaking, visual storytelling, and high quality, you know, marketing content for brands? I'm not saying that I'm as good as someone who has done that like 20 years, but I still feel I have learned a lot in a short period of time, and I was so inspired about that world that, okay, I can do these stories and these pictures and everything. They look great, and you know, I feel so good of doing this. So I decided, okay, well, I give myself a chance to try do this as a full-time job, as a profession. But this time I'm not dropping out from this live streaming, entertainment stuff instantly. I do a plan to drop out step by step, going forward my own goal to create photography and filmmaking, visual storytelling as my profession. And now here, after 2 years, I'm doing it as a full-time profession, which is kind of fascinating. I still can't believe that myself. But yeah, the point of origin. I got this thought in my head and question in my head last year that, okay, the decision to jump out from that world and turn a new page in my life happened there. And, you know, as I told, I have been always a guy who wants to know an answer for the question that I have in my mind that affect in my life, to understand life better, to have this sort of a peace in life and understanding. This April, I decided to go back to Croatia to find out what was the thing in there that made me do the session, because I felt it was the place, it was the life, and something in there was the key for myself to start thinking life, my personal life and my personal, health and everything, my personal happiness more. So I decided to go back in Croatia.
What is the story? It is the love we are lucky enough to lose and the memories we are blessed to keep. Wake up.
I made this story in collaboration with Nikon and Rajala ProShop to make this vision in my head alive. I had a certain image that this story have to look like, and we have to go to visual breakdown or breakthrough to tell you more, because the visuals are one of the key parts of this story and tell the story, give them more details about it. So let's go to visual breakthrough or breakdown. Let's go through the visuals now, yeah. So the visuals are of course one of the key parts of the story. How the video is going to look like, and through the visuals it's important to make an audience to have a certain feeling and atmosphere around the film. The visuals for the point of origin are based on the image that I had in my head, or the vision that I had in my head. And it's kind of an image of my, of course, around the question and around this kind of feeling that I had in my head around this question. And I felt that this journey, this adventure is a sort of a dream. And I see and feel the adventure when you are looking something and getting to know about something and finding something, you have to make it feel kind of exciting. So I wanted to create point of origin, this sort of a dream of mine, a dreamy, cinematic, colorful, because I feel the adventures are always really colorful in a way that you go through various type of things. I met a lot of people. I did go around different islands and towns and cities around the coastal area of the Dubrovnik and Croatia. And that's why the point of origin is really colorful. It's kind of a dreamy, soft and saturated, contrasted look, and it looks like you are inside a dream, and sort of. And life in general is colorful, and the events in life, in different types of events, are colorful. So that is what I wanted the point of origin to look like. And the key to make this vision and this visual plan alive, I think I wouldn't be able to do that without the Nikon ZR's red color science inside of it, because red color science in Nikon ZR is giving me the most advanced tools in filmmaking in a consumer level, because it's a $205,000 or euro camera, and you get this really powerful professional color science inside it. If I'm right, the Red Color Science or the Red blog inside Red Raw have a something around 68 million color points. So you are able to modify and create the atmosphere and the feeling with the colors and exposure and everything, almost whatever you want it to look like, in really, even in really difficult filming conditions. Like, you know, we were in Croatia from the end of the April to the beginning of the May, and at that time you are not able to go around the islands and different cities with the boat in the nighttime. They do the trips just during the daytime. So everything, most like 99% of the footage was filmed during the brightest daytime. And if you want to achieve this dreamy nighttime look or the sunset look, it would not have been possible, or I believe it would not have been possible without the Red Color Science. For example, this clip here is filmed like around 1 or 2 p.m. So it's the brightest time of the day in Croatia. And yeah, this helped a lot that it was kind of a lot of trees there, and they made already a little bit shadow and down the exposure of the daytime, but still I was managed to do with the really precise color grading this kind of dreamy sunset look on this. And it's really exciting that you are able to create this look and modify the daytime clips that you have filmed to look like it's filmed like during the sunset or nighttime. And here is another clip. For example, I show you the before and after. So here you see another clip that is filmed during the daytime, during the brightest daytime, and I was able again do this really look like a sunset or nighttime shot, which is really, really fascinating. And I'm really thankful for Nikon for providing me ZR during this trip, and able to use the ZR's most advanced color science to make this vision in my head alive, because without these visuals, this story would not have been as I saw it in my head, because I aimed to do this, you know, based on these thoughts, these dreamy ideas and thoughts, and, you know, as I mentioned earlier, to look like a dreamy adventure and finding the answer for my question. Here is one clip that is filmed during the sunset, and it's not that, you know, it's not that powerful color grading on this, because the sunset is giving you the best lighting setup for naturally for the film, and this is really beautiful shot. We were there just sitting on the beach. We had a bottle of wine and enjoying the moment together. So without the Nikon ZR, without the Red Color Science, the story would not have, yeah, it would have been possible in a story way, but visually it would, I believe it would not have been possible, you know, for me, because I don't have money or possibility to buy a red camera with the red color science, but because now the red is part of the Nikon and Nikon ZR have the red color science inside it, it's really exciting to make films look like how you feel they should look like. And of course I had this incredible, beautiful Peter McKinnon PMVND filter from Rajala to be able to control the exposure and the light conditions around the Croatia, and because it's a black mist filter, it's giving you naturally this nice little dreamy soft look, and I like that a lot. And you know, keeping also the colors naturally saturated. But yeah, the visuals for the story are a huge part of the story, and they make the story alive for the audience who watch it. But of course, telling the story and making it, you know, it's like building a Legos, and the visually making this possible with the ZR was the key part to me for really have the story put together and enjoy it by myself, enjoying of course all the content that and the clips that nobody have seen. I have seen them from Croatia, but also the pictures. I took a lot of pictures there too. Here's a few that you can see. These are because of the Nikon ZRs and Nikon's really great color science around the photography, but of course the filter that I got there from the relentless. And I will drop all these LUTs that I have used, but also the power grade that I'm building now for everybody who are interested to use. I will start selling this power grade and LUTs that I have created around this and other tools to create this look possible. So if you are interested, take my social media accounts, subscribe my social media accounts, and I will let you know when these are available. But here is a short breakthrough through the visuals and why I made this look like this. Let's go back to the story and the conclusion of the story.
What is a story? Is it the places we go, the faces we pass, the fleeting moments we desperately try to hold on to? We are taught to expect a happy ending, but we know the truth. The stories that break us, the ones that don't end the way we planned, those are the ones we remember. They become the fabric of who we are. I had to find mine. Wake up, write, win, repeat. A relentless loop fueled by adrenaline, chasing a finish line that kept moving. I was fighting a war against my own happiness. I knew the machine had to stop. I needed something real. So I picked up the camera. I needed to make a difference. It was always a dream to come back here after 2 years. I'm not sure if it was the beauty of the Adriatic or the life light as a feather. But something in this very place is what fired up my journey as a visual storyteller. With Nikon and relentless, I set out anew to find the answer I was looking for. But was it just a beautiful lie? I was fighting the winds to force masterpiece into every frame. I roamed the ancient walls before dawn. When the spectacle fades, you finally face the truth you ran from. The true inspiration is never 1,000 miles away. It was the hardest lesson of my life. One that strips away all the noise, leaving only a single question. What is the story? It is the love we are lucky enough to lose and the memories we are blessed to keep. She held just long enough to see me find the answer, laying her paw in my hand with her final breath. And now, through every story I tell, her beautiful life breathes again. Let's see where it leads.
And then the conclusion, well, the conclusion and the story, the actual story, what happened. Yes, I went to Croatia. I went to Croatia, and this wasn't really a story that I aimed to do just in Instagram or TikTok as this trendy cinematic travel video, because I went there with camera and the other accessories, huge thanks to Nikon and Rajala Pro Shop to be part of this story. But I went there with camera, and I knew that I have to understand the Croatia, the life and all that to have an answer for my question. And well, if you go in April to Croatia, you really can't really travel in the nighttime. We had to travel daytime, and there was certain difficulties in terms of the visuals, as I mentioned in the visual breakthrough. So yeah, I don't really say that I did not make any mistakes, because I did make a mistake at one point in this travel. I ended up one day, I ended up in the beginning of this travel to do this trendy. So I tried to do this trendy, and I forgot that, okay, this is not the thing that I need to do this. I need to go around here, go different islands, towns and cities, talk to people, and kind of try to feel, see, smell, hear the life of Croatia, and find what is really the answer for me. What was the inspiration, and what was the thing, this awakening here that made me do difference in life and turn a new page and start this new kind of filmmaking, photography and content creation. And I found that there was a certain things in Croatia that I really respect, and I felt that this could be a home for me at some point, because I felt there I have so good feeling being in there, at least in the coastal area. And I know I haven't been in anywhere else yet than just in the coastal areas of the Croatia. So I have to go there again and know more about Croatia in the north and in the other parts of the Croatia. But I understood that after I found out a little bit more of the history and life itself in Croatia, the values and everything that the Croatian people have in their life, and I was okay. In this fast-paced world in Finland and in many other countries that I have visited, I feel that we have lost the kind of a real touch of life because of this social media and all unnecessary stuff that we have brought into our life. Yeah, they are doing social media and that in Croatia too, but they still, I feel, respect the life and all the real things in life more than we do, and they respect their history, they respect their culture and respect everything that Croatia is built up. And this is just my conclusion about this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have this feeling. If there is someone from Croatia who is watching this, can, comment on this video if I'm right. But I felt that this is something that I want my life be surrounded. And because of that, I got a great feeling for a long time on these kind of really important things about life being on there or being in there. And I felt, okay, this is the answer for my question. I felt so peaceful and great there. But it wasn't the answer actually, or the whole answer. When I came back home, I have had this, as I mentioned, my two incredible kids, my dogs, Mirri and Irmain back in the days. I had this really bad, I missed Mirri really badly, and you know, Mirri already was a 15.5 years old pug. When I came back home, I kind of, she already then felt different, but she felt really happy actually, even though it felt bad to go there. Well, if Mirri would have been much younger, we would have taken her with us, but I was doing a job there, filming also other stuff for my partners. But I would have, of course, taken her out there, but I felt it was more dangerous to take her going through the mountains and islands than being in Finland and you know, flying and all that in general, because the stress is really bad for the dogs. I'm not saying that she wasn't stressful when I was out, but she was home and there was a person who Mirri knew taking care of her. But yeah, we came home. I felt that she was extremely happy about that. I finally kind of have a sort of peace in my life. But when the summer started, and yeah, of course, 15.5-year-old dog, her health really goes faster in the worse. But she still did great. But until a midsummer, which is a party in Finland or celebration in Finland, I had this weird feeling. Our bond kind of get even stronger and better before that, and we went to the summer cottage during the midsummer, and there she was, sort of really peaceful, and she just wanted to be really near of me. And I felt quite strange, of course. This was something new. Mirri did not really sleep on my lap ever, really like a deep sleep. And in the midsummer, she felt happy. She wanted to be with us, be with me really closely. And the midsummer night, she wanted to go to beach, watch the sea, really the sunset. We went there, and it was strange because Mirri, in her, the last 5 years, she didn't really want to be near the water. She didn't want to swim, but now she somehow wanted to go to the beach. And we were sitting there. It was the most peaceful night. We saw 3 pairs of the swans flying past us. And she rarely is awake, in the midnight. And she was there sitting with me, watching that, and watching me like in really weirdly, bugs are usually really happy, and Mirri was always happy, but she was so peaceful and happy. And and the very next morning we went to sleep. She woke up when sun was rising, 4 or 5 a.m. She wanted to go out, which was also strange. There was this sunset sun rising. Sorry, sun was rising, and you know the sky was. I haven't seen sky that golden and beautiful. And she wanted to go out. She wanted to, I take her on my lap and see the sun rising. And after that, just watching that for like 15 minutes, she was ready to go back inside. And but the very next day she was too tired, and I felt that okay, now something is wrong. I'm gonna have to go home. Something really strange has happened, and she doesn't feel that powerful anymore. So we went to home, and on that trip, I was sitting on the back seat with Mirri while driving. When we were driving home, and she was like, I was holding my hand on the back seat. She put her front paw, which was unnormal for Mirri. She never really liked that people touch her front paw. She put her front paw on top of my hand. I put my hand on top of her paw, and she gave me that look that, hey daddy, everything is okay. I'm ready. I know you have found the peace in life, and you have found the thing that you want to do, and you enjoy it. You are happy, and I'm happy to go now. Yeah. So we went home. She was just sleeping. I called my mother that because we planned to go to my parents next week, and I called my mother that unfortunately it seems that she's not coming with us, and we had this last night with Mirri. We went to look at the sea, and it's just strange. I have a clip her sitting with us because I knew that there is something strange in this moment. I put the camera behind us. We sat there. We gave her the kind of a last meal, and there was nobody, because again it was past the midnight already. There was nobody there where we were. No sound, nothing. She was watching a few times behind her, and I think she saw her sister Mirri and the other friends, and she knew that it's time to go. And that night she rested in peace. And yeah, the conclusion and the point of origin of my story and this, I gave for Mirri a promise in 2017 when I was really in the darkest place of my life, and again 2 years ago, that I will do this, I will make this work, and I want you to be part of it. And I felt we have this really strong connection that somehow people can say I'm crazy, but somehow I felt at that moment when she saved my life, and 2 years ago, that she said to me that she's going to be here as long as you find your peace, happiness, and you become in those terms successful on what you are doing, and she want to make sure that I'm on the right path. And my point of origin on filmmaking and storytelling and photography was my dogs. Mirri and Irma had a role in that too. And that is end of the story. Mirri rested in peace in midsummer, and I feel that she has been watching what I do, because after that even though I'm still missing her, and I feel that my life feels sort of empty, and my stories, even though I have a lot of stories about her, I'm still having this sort of feeling of emptiness. But certain things have happened. I think it's because of her, and I'm really grateful for her giving me this new chance in life, and something that I enjoy and being happy. But well, yeah, she was the source of my happiness. She brought me back into life and guided me through everything I was doing wrong. She guided me on the right path, and that is the point of my origin for this. And I have promised for her to keep going and make this work, and make unforgettable stories, of course, about her, but about everything else too. And she is really my inspiration for the filmmaking, photography, and visual storytelling, and you will feel her in these stories. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and leave a subscription if you like to, comment about the story, and hopefully I will see you all again.
So much beauty everywhere, and speaking at me through the trees.